Happy February, everybody.
Yes, Cathi, it is unbelievable that
I
it is
know.
already the second month of 2022.
I know.
To 2022.
I know. It's crazy.
January was pretty fun.
It was pretty fun, actually.
Yeah, but it's over. It's over, but that's okay. That's okay because the books that we've chosen
Yes.
are, great female authors. So they couldn't
Yes.
be in January anywhere anyway. And also, did you realize that they're both from Toronto? They both live in Toronto?
I did not know that. They're both
No.
Canadian and both from Toronto. I had no idea.
Yeah, I'm assuming they're both Canadian. I don't know about
Well, let's tell
Nita
everybody what we're
Prose.
doing here. How
She
about that?
doesn't tell about her childhood, so I don't know, but I think she could either be English or Canadian, but
So let's back up and tell everybody what we're doing. We're here today to talk about our recommendations for the month of
yes.
February. And
Yes.
you have behind you, I can see it if you're on
Yes.
YouTube. What do you have?
So I chose The Maid by Nita Prose. I mean, how's that for an author's name?
Oh my God, it's perfect. Like I
I
just
know.
dying to
Perfect name.
know. If you were gonna pick a pseudonym though, that would be pretty great.
I think it is a pseudonym.
Do you?
Well, just from the credits, she thanked her family and she used a last name that used most of these letters, but it was a little different.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So then I was thinking, okay, that would make sense that you have such a cool last name.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
Pronovosts.
okay.
Yeah. I
Well,
don't know
that's
if we
I'm very excited. I've heard a lot of discussion about that book, or I've seen a lot of it online. So I'm really
Okay.
anxious to hear about it.
Yeah, but
I
you go first.
Yeah, I will. Okay, so I chose, I'm holding up, I love this cover. It's called
Yeah.
Lucky. Such a great cover. And it is by Marissa Stapley. And I really love this book and I'm really excited to share it with everybody.
Oh, good. Oh, good. That cover looks so familiar. Then we must have had another author that had something where they had it in sunglasses on the
You know what it
front or
reminds
something.
me of, and I'm not positive, and maybe Connor can help us here, although he's probably exhausted after his month of Manuary-ness. Our episode with Connor just got a lot of feedback on. Everyone loved hearing from him. I'm sure
Yeah.
he's just coming off of that. But I'm thinking about Elizabeth Breck's book with her PI. The cover kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah, I was trying to remember who it was. No, it's not Double Take. What was her one before that?
Um
So I'm saying I walked away. Sorry for you listeners out there. It wasn't the
we're
first
not
one.
supposed to do that.
Was the first one
Anonymous
Double
was her
Take?
first one.
Anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, so we're thinking of
I mean,
something
it's the
else.
colors. Yeah, but there's somebody else.
I just love the cover though. It's pretty
Oh,
great.
you know who I think it was?
Uh,
Oh, I think it's this one. The Lady Upstairs
oh
by
yeah,
Hallie Sutton. Remember
very
Hallie?
reminiscent.
She
Look
was
at that.
fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's very
yeah.
reminiscent. There you go. So that's so we I should tell you what I chose to drink with
Yes,
Lucky
absolutely. Do that
because
first.
so yeah, so we should say this is Christie's first beverage in a long while.
In a month.
So
I did the dry January.
as in say, while we did Manuary, she also was doing dry January, which I don't know if those two things should go together, but anyway. Good for
They
you.
did. I survived.
And so what is your report on dry January? I'm curious.
It was actually easier than I thought it would be. Because there is like I'll just, when I think, oh, I want to have a glass of wine, there's like, other things that kind of substitute and non-alcoholic wines or I don't know.
Yeah.
It was and I slept much better.
Did you really?
Mhm.
Well, your skin looks beautiful. You look glowing.
That's because I've had a glass of wine today.
Oh, okay. Well, I had found
Not
an
really.
article. I had found an article about how not drinking is really good for your skin. As a matter of
Yes,
fact, we're
it
going to include it.
probably is.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to include that in our newsletter links because I thought it was really interesting.
Hmm.
So we'll have to take a picture of your glowing skin and show everyone. Anyway, so
Photo
my
shoot.
so Lucky, which is my rec for the month, I paired it
Hmm.
with 19 Crimes dark red wine. I
Ooh.
love all the 19 Crimes varieties. They're really fun labels, and
It's just called dark red.
it's just called dark red.
Who's the criminal on there?
It's called The Banished.
Ooh.
Jared Nelson, one of those actual. I think if you take your phone and you scan it, it gives you the information about him.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Hmm. It's an Australian wine, and it's very rich. It's very full bodied, which I
Oh,
don't mind.
good.
It says that it is got dark chocolate and vanilla aromatics that
Oh
complement
man, that
subtle
sounds
flavors.
delish.
It is complement subtle flavors of cloves and cinnamon spice, which is it's very full bodied, but it is very nice.
I will
Mhm.
have to add that to my repertoire.
Yeah, I think it's a very nice, but it's very I only you can only sip it. I mean, it's really full bodied. It's very nice. Anyway, it goes with Lucky because
Hmm.
this book is about a con artist who her whole life is raised to commit crimes.
Oh wow.
And so I thought, and I happened to be finishing it when we were on vacation, and we had a different bottle of 19 Crimes, and I thought, well, I can't think of a
That's
better,
perfect.
yeah, wine. But I want to tell you quick how I chose this book. So
Okay.
I was reading another book by an author we've discussed in the past. It's called Story Genius, and in that she was talking about this quote from John Irving, and his advice to writers is, whenever possible, tell the entire story of a novel in the first sentence. And so then she goes on to quote. You can see I've really read this book.
Yes, I'm impressed.
So she goes on to quote the first line of A Prayer for Owen Meany, which I love that book. I absolutely love that book. And it just stuck in my mind. It was earlier in the day, like, one of my early 5 a.m. things. Later in the day, I'd heard about this book called Lucky from Marissa Stapley. And I don't remember where I heard it about or anything like that, but I was curious. So I went on Instagram to see if I could find her. And I found her profile and I popped on, and she had quoted, like, the first post I went to, she quoted that exact line
Oh,
because
you're kidding me.
because John Irving was her favorite author. She met him at a writing conference, and one of her friends, I assume someone like you, shoved her up to him and said, she loves you. You got to talk to her. And she said she was planning to quote that first sentence to him, but she, I think, lost her way or something like that. But wasn't that?
Wow.
Yeah. So I thought, okay, that has to be our GOBrecs for February. And
Wow.
then I love the book on top of it.
Um, okay, can we pause a second?
Mm-hmm.
Am I coming out of your speakers as well? Because I keep hearing an echo of myself. Connor, did you hear it, or is it just my imagination?
Okay, I've turned the speaker down, but I don't. It all sounds
Okay,
up.
so
It sounds the same.
it might just, he doesn't hear it, so that's good.
I mean,
Because at first I thought, oh, it's a dog barking in the background. And then I went, it happens every time I say something.
it's you.
So it's probably my own.
Here, I mean, unplug things and see if it helps you at all. Anything?
That's all right. Yeah, I'm fine. It's fine.
Okay.
As long as he doesn't hear it, I don't care.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure before we went way far. Okay, so sorry to interrupt, but that was a really good story.
Thanks. Okay. Okay. How's that? Is that any better?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So anyway, so that is why I chose Lucky. And then it turns out I loved the book as much as the reason I chose it to begin with.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It's
So that
good.
was a lucky pick.
Lucky pick. Okay, so I'm going to tell you just quick about this character. Lucky is named after the protagonist, the lead, and her name is Lucky Armstrong, and she's a con artist, which I know sounds like it's kind of hard to love her, but she is quite lovable because she's a con artist with like a conscience. Like she's very.
Oh, that's good. Because
Yeah.
so it's not like a noir. Because sometimes
No.
those noirs, they can be.
This isn't dark and gritty. I mean, it's definitely it's definitely real, but it's has enough lightness to it that it really is a more of a fun con artist
Okay.
take, I
Okay.
guess. Um,
Well, like, Ocean's 11
yeah,
or
I
something
would
like
say
that,
very similar to that. Very similar to
Or
that.
what's the one with all the women? Ocean's
8,
9,
Ocean's 8.
8,
That's my
8.
favorite.
Okay.
Okay, I almost
I
grabbed this to
digress.
drink.
Yeah,
Uh,
just chug from the
just
bottle.
take the bottle. Um, so she's been raised to be a con artist. She literally grew up with her dad grifting. They would just go from place to place, and that's how she was raised. But she did feel like she just wanted, a normal life, normal childhood, friends. They even She met a friend and they ended up grifting the friend. Like, it's just, you feel for
Oh,
her so bad.
sad.
It is sad, this grifter, poor little grifter, but you do feel bad for this con artist. And so that's just kind of is her life. I mean, the few times she tries to get away, it just, they pull her back in. And even her boyfriend, partner in life, they're doing this good con, and it's gonna be the last con, and they're gonna take off to a remote island, right? And stop
Hmm.
having this life. And then he's conned her. And so,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, so she ends up with her face splashed across the
Don't tell us
news.
the end.
I'm not. This is like in the
Okay.
first few pages.
Okay.
And so what she finds out is, and so she's just in a terrible situation. The police are wanting her, and she finds out that she has legitimately bought a winning lottery ticket worth tons of money. But she cannot cash it, because if she cashes it and tells them her identity, she'll then get arrested.
Oh my gosh.
And so the whole rest of the book is her trying to kind of just caper upon caper, trying to get out of this and reclaim her life. And at the same time, she wants to make amends to those that she's wronged, and she has this conscience and she feels guilty. And I, I
Oh,
just,
it sounds like a great book.
it's a great book. And I just really enjoyed it. I think anybody would enjoy it. I think if you like capers, if you like detective stuff, because there's some really good law enforcement,
Hmm.
characters in it. And I really enjoyed it. And it is a Reese's book club pick. And I just want to say, Reese, I concur.
Yeah.
I concur.
She's our friend, We talk
So
to her all the time
all
and
the
tell her
time.
which books to re- refer.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
anyway, and I just the author Marissa Stapley, through her social media, which I've now completely obsessed with. She just seems great and genuine
You know
and
what? I think she looks a little bit like you.
oh, really?
Yeah. When I looked on the website before,
Hmm.
today's episode, I was like, who's this?
Well,
That's
thank
how I
you, because
found out she
she's
was from Toronto. And I
she's
was
quite
like, oh,
lovely.
she's,
Yeah. So thank you.
yeah.
So that's my rec, and I really recommend it. And I have to say, I was debating between this and another book. I don't know if I should say what it was. Well,
Unless
I
you're going to
will.
use it for some. Yeah,
I
you
am
can
going to
say.
use it. I was going to read the new Patricia Cornwell. I
Yeah.
love Patricia Cornwell.
Right.
And I have to tell you, this is a very quick, fast read. It's only 232 pages, where Patricia's was like a tome. And
Right.
I was going away with my family for the weekend. We were going skiing, and I thought I'm just not going to have great attention to this. And so I chose the shorter one, and so it's really quick. And I think a lot of people are struggling with their attention span, getting back into
Yes.
reading after the last couple of years. And so if you are, this book will make you feel like you've accomplished something, because it's a quick, fast page turning read.
Awesome. Awesome.
There. That is my,
What about food? Did you pick any food to
you
go
know,
with it?
I would pick, if we were actually in a book club doing this in our homes,
Hmm.
entertaining friends, which just seems so ridiculously remote now.
I
Um,
know.
I would pick a homemade mac and cheese,
Mm.
because I have two reasons. One, I always am trying new homemade mac and cheese recipes. I don't it's not that I dislike the ones I've tried. I just am always looking for a different take, I guess. And I had
Yeah.
just seen one from a half baked target harvest is
Hmm.
the blog that I follow, and she just I get her excuse me. The burp, Connor. I hope you'll take that out. I gotten it from Half Baked Harvest, and she sends emails, with her recipes. And I thought, oh, that looks so good. But in my mind, I also thought, if I am growing up as a young girl with my dad only, not that dads don't cook or little girls don't cook, but if you're grifting and you're going from hotel
Yeah,
to
she's
hotel,
probably eating a lot of mac and
a
cheese,
lot of
right?
boxed mac and cheese, I thought. So that was. That was where I came up with
Mhm.
that. So I do have a recipe that I'm going to try actually, and I
Oh,
will
good.
link it in and we'll see
Yum,
what I
yum.
think
That
of that.
does
I
sound
know.
good.
I love a mac and cheese. Like
Well,
just
I'm
my
excited.
favorite.
I'm going to add that to my summer read
Yeah, I think it'd be a
list
great summer
because
read
we've
actually.
got so many books piled up from our season coming up that I'm going to be
I know.
reading, reading, reading.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I will enjoy that in the summer.
So tell me about the maid.
Okay, this is really funny because we both do not discuss this, and we both chose books that we didn't know the author of,
Mm-hmm.
and they're both books that you could recommend to anyone. They're not like,
Interesting.
you know, deep thrillers.
Yeah.
Like some of ours are like, okay, we can't tell, you know, it's like
Yeah.
a feel good book. And that's what I liked about the description because I like to feel good around now. So anyway,
That is a nice thing to feel good.
yes. So it's The Maid, and what it is the main character is named Molly, and she's a maid. Oh, you know what? I'm going to tell you the wine first.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you briefly. Molly's a maid. See, isn't that cute? Molly the maid. She's heard that before. She doesn't have a lot of social skills. I don't know, you know, she could have some sort of, I don't know, personality type thing, but she just doesn't get those social cues. So it's very she becomes sort of endearing as well as she gets taken advantage of.
Oh.
So, you know, because she just doesn't see people good or bad, she takes them face value, you know? And so you're like, oh no, you know, you're rooting for her while she's trying to, you know, while she's becoming almost, you know, a suspect in this
So what happens?
murder
Like, what's
mystery.
the?
There, she's a maid and she discovers one of the guests dead in the room.
Hmm.
It's like an Agatha Christie type thing,
No,
you know.
I'm
You
not
know,
saying
so they have
interesting.
all these little different characters and they all kind of like are fitting together, and she's just going through. She loves to clean. She loves order. She likes everything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she wipes the bottom of her shoes and puts them in the closet when she walks in the door at home, which I never thought of doing, but that's probably easier than just throwing them down. But um, anyway, so I was looking, she does drink Chardonnay a couple times
Oh.
when she goes to Olive Garden.
Oh.
Okay. So that plays prominent throughout the book. So I'm thinking if you live near an Olive Garden, that's what you have at your book club.
Oh yeah,
If
like takeout.
not,
Because they do
yeah.
have a good salad. I love the Olive Garden salad.
Oh
I
yeah,
do.
the salad and the breadsticks.
Yeah, that's it.
And then I did look, there are recipes like you can make your own breadsticks if you don't, which I would
Mhm.
never do because, but they had a recipe that I was thinking of trying, which was a crock pot chicken and pasta.
Ooh.
Um, that was a fake Olive Garden recipe
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, but you do
Mm-hmm.
it in the crock pot or the slow cooker. And then I was thinking I'll add some spinach because I love spinach. And I used to go to Olive Garden and they'd have that Florentine type
Mm-hmm.
chicken and pasta. So I was like, oh, I'll add some spinach to this recipe. And then everybody can just scoop it out. And
That would be yummy. We're both doing
okay.
pasta.
But the wine,
Yeah.
this was perfect. So I was at a different wine store today and I was just looking for a Chardonnay, which I don't normally drink. So I
Yeah.
was like, oh, let's look for one that has a good name. Well, this is called Unsullied. Okay. The
Okay.
description on it, adjective, pure or spotlessly clean and fresh,
Oh,
immaculate or impeccable.
oh, that's perfect.
I know, because that is her thing. That's her thing. You know, everything's clean and she's really good at her job. And so that's what I got. And this is supposed to be unsullied wine because it's freshness and virtue of the fruit as nature intended. So this wine displays ripe green apple, white nectarine, and papaya. And it's actually good. I don't know if it's because I haven't drank any wine in a whole month, but I'm enjoying a Chardonnay. Okay.
Yeah, we don't drink a lot of Chardonnays.
Yeah, it's good.
What's so funny is, Christy, I just today was on the 19 Crimes website, and I found a Chardonnay on there. And I thought we have to find a way to use this. It's Martha's Chard, like Martha Stewart has a Chardonnay from 19 Crimes because of her and Snoop Dogg apparently having a relationship. And I literally thought, Christine, I have got to get a Chardonnay. We'll have to do Martha's Chard. And here you're doing a Chardonnay. So there you go.
I know. Perfect. I know. Yep. So, so anyway, the book is, and I also liked, this isn't a long book either. I mean, it's, let's see, under 300 pages.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, it's just a pleasant read. Like I said, it's, you get into the character. She talks so funny. And that's why I was like, a lot of the terminology almost seems British to me. And it really doesn't say where they are, I don't think, other than the name of the hotel.
Oh, like the book doesn't give you a setting or anything?
Yeah, it's the hotel and her, she lives, nearby. It's called the Regency Grand. And that's like in the city. But I was just like, I was so curious. That's why I looked up where she was from, because I'm like, is this an English book? Because some of the words seem like that. But then I'm like, I don't know. I
wonder if she did that on purpose, that it's can be anywhere.
Yeah, I'm wondering too. Because I don't notice anywhere in there that it says it refers to where they are, which city. I think it's America. I can't remember. There was something that made me think that it was, but then the way that, some of the turns of phrase, and then the author had worked in publishing, and she worked for a British publisher, but in the Toronto office. Or she was like the Toronto. So that's why I was like, I don't know, maybe she came from England to Toronto and stayed there, or who knows? We have to have her on the podcast.
Well, I'm very curious because setting is normally a big, I don't know, like reliance point for authors. They ground their readers in a setting. And so I get that.
Well, the setting is the hotel, really. And
interesting.
And, like the person who she found dead was a famous person, but of course it was somebody we didn't know, as the reader. I feel like it's America, but so I don't know if she did that intentionally I kind of think she might have, because I was like, that's kind of cool. It's in some English speaking area.
Cool. So did you ever see the movie Knives Out?
No, it's on my list because I have been
You need
told
to
watch it.
Great movie. But the way you're describing this book it makes me feel a little bit reminiscent of Knives Out, because the main person who deals with his family and the dead character is the nurse that's taking care of the author who died. And they're actually making a movie out of this. Are they really?
Yeah, and it's I think the main character is oh no, I should have looked this up ahead of time. She's an actress.
Really?
And she's kind of a quirky actress. And where's my sound editor? I have to put up the chat.
Sure, he's Googling right now.
See, I'm telling you, if you stop drinking, then your brain doesn't work as well.
You stop drinking,
so this whole month I've been not being able to remember the names.
Christy is advocating people. Continue drinking. No more dry Januaries. Well,
It takes place in Toronto, is what our sound engineer says.
Okay.
And I can't remember the name of the actress, but she's a quirky actress. I think she named some quirky actresses, sound editor.
Oh, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not good at that.
She had, I think it might have been one who had she had a series. Yeah. Oh, it's Florence Pugh, Pugh.
I don't know. I don't know.
So maybe
Florence
she's
Pugh.
not a quirky actress. She maybe I'm thinking of somebody else who's named
Maybe she's
Florence. I don't know what she was in, but her name is familiar to me. But anyway, so
Well, that
she
is
was in
awesome.
Little Women.
Okay.
But it's a great character.
I would like to read that book as well. That sounds really great.
Yeah, we'll trade them when we read
So
it. And she
how
was
did
also in
you-
the Black Widow and a Marvel movie. Or
Okay.
maybe that's the same thing. I
Black
don't know.
Widow is a Marvel movie.
You can tell. Yeah, like I'm sounding so smart, but
how
really?
did you choose it before we end? I'm curious.
So yeah, and I just honestly, I was just kind of like looking on Amazon, seeing what's out new, you know, kind of looking through, and I was like, wow, this looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And so then I read the description. I'm like, you know what? I feel like I want to have something that's a little heartwarming, because that's how they describe it, you know, quirky, heartwarming. And so that's why I chose it.
Great choice. Very excited about it.
Yes, yes. And we're excited that we're going to be giving these away.
Yes, we are. So
our
you can enter
GOBrecs
to win
giveaway.
a copy of them. Link in our bio or our website. And you will get all the details.
Yep. And we've got a lot of fun episodes coming up. So hopefully everybody
do.
keeps
We
us
do.
with, like I said, I have this pile of books right here.
We have a very busy next few months. So check
Yeah.
out our website and our social media to keep updated on all of the highlights of what's coming up and our giveaways.
Yep.
And
GameOfBookspodcast.com.
there you go.
All the things.
So until next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.